She clutched her book tighter, her back to the wall, hoping they'd just pass by. But they didn't. They laughed. Shoved her. And when she screamed while tumbling down the stairs, everyone turned to look, yet no one helped. What the bullies didn't know was that one janitor had finally had enough, and this time, the hidden camera was on. What happened next landed them straight in jail, and changed an entire school forever. You'll never forget this story. The rain poured harder as Alina stood outside the gates of Crestwood High, her worn-out coat soaked through, the broken strap of her bag barely hanging from her shoulder. At just 15, she had already seen more loss than most adults ever did. Her parents had died in a car crash when she was 5. Since then, she bounced from one foster home to another like an unwanted package, until finally, she was placed at St. Mary's Orphanage on the edge of town. Most kids avoided her. The ones who didn't. They bullied her. She was quiet, always reading. She didn't have the latest phone, didn't wear brand clothes. Her shoes had holes in them. She ate lunch alone near the old bleachers. And that made her a target. The worst of them were Kendra, Lexi, and Matt, the school's elite. Children of lawyers, doctors, and judges. Protected by their parents' influence, they acted like the school belonged to them. They called Alina, charity case, garbage girl, gutter girl. Sometimes louder, sometimes whispered behind cupped hands. But always cruel. No one dared stop them, not the teachers, not the students, not even the principal. Because their parents funded the new computer lab. The new gym. Even the annual gala. But someone did watch. Every morning, the janitor, Mr. Thomas, swept the corridors, mopped the cafeteria, and fixed the leaking sinks. But what most didn't know was that Mr. Thomas once served in military surveillance. He wasn't just sweeping floors. He was observing, taking mental notes of who did what when no one was looking. And he saw Alina. He noticed how she waited until everyone left the class before moving. How she flinched whenever someone called her name. How she winced when she sat down, bruises hidden under sleeves. One day, while mopping the floor near the stairwell, he saw it. Matt, laughing, pushed her slightly. She stumbled. Kendra giggled. Lexi called her rat girl. But then came the real push. Matt leaned forward, shoved her hard in the back, and Alina screamed as she fell down the staircase, hitting the steps like a rag doll. Her book scattered. Her head struck a stair. And everything went silent. For a second, even Kendra gasped. Alina didn't move. A crowd gathered. Someone called the nurse. Someone called the principal. But no one said what happened. Matt shrugged, she tripped. And they believed him. They always did. Alina was rushed to the hospital. 2 fractured ribs, a mild concussion, and bruises all over. But this time, it wasn't just a word against hers. Mr. Thomas had finally done what he'd considered for months, installed a small hidden camera inside the stairwell's exit sign. It recorded everything. And the footage was horrifying. But what would he do with it? Would anyone even believe a janitor over the children of powerful parents? Alina returned to school 2 weeks later, more silent than ever. But something was different this time. Mr. Thomas wasn't just sweeping. He was preparing for war. He had dozens of clips now. Days of footage. But when he tried to show the principal, he was dismissed, told to mind his job, and stop making baseless accusations. So he did something else. He uploaded the video, with timestamps, voice clips, and close-ups, and emailed it to a local journalist known for exposing corruption in schools. The headline the next morning read, "Elite students push orphan downstairs, school covers it up." The footage went viral in hours. Thousands of people commented. National news picked it up. The school's phones rang non-stop. The superintendent arrived by noon. The principal was suspended. Kendra, Lexi, and Matt were escorted out in handcuffs for child endangerment and assault. Alina was called to the auditorium 2 days later. What she expected was another announcement or maybe an apology. What she got was a standing ovation. Students, teachers, even the janitors clapped as she walked slowly down the aisle. She looked confused, overwhelmed. Then Mr. Thomas stepped on stage and took the mic. I want you all to meet someone brave. Someone who endured what many couldn't. And instead of becoming bitter, she stayed kind. Quiet doesn't mean weak. Poor doesn't mean less. And broken doesn't mean unworthy. Alina, you're not alone anymore. The school gave her a scholarship. A local charity offered her permanent housing. And Mr. Thomas? He was awarded a medal for public service and promoted to school safety officer. Alina's life changed. She got new clothes, new books, and most importantly, friends who respected her. She joined the debate team, started a poetry club, and even gave a TED-style talk titled, "Silence is Not Peace." Years later, she graduated valedictorian with a full scholarship to university. And sitting in the front row, proud and smiling, was Mr. Thomas, the janitor who noticed her pain when no one else did. Sometimes, heroes don't wear suits. They wear janitor uniforms, carry mops, and have hearts bigger than the hallways they clean. And sometimes, the quiet girl who sits alone becomes the voice that shakes the system. If you see something wrong, speak. If you feel alone, hold on. Because you never know who's watching, ready to fight for you when no one else will.